So, the keen-eyed among you, keen-eared among. Hi, Jasmine. May have noticed from the distinct lack of New Game Monday chant, yeah, that we are back with more Slay the Princess. You could also have picked up on that from the schedule or stream title or any of a number of factors. But the point is, we're back with more Slay the Princess tonight. This little preview in the corner was another clue. Hey, Cherry. Hi, Bob. Hi, Jasmine. There were just all sorts of evidence. But for any audio only listeners out there, yeah, we're doing more Slay the Princess tonight. We finished it on Thursday. In a I think, yes, in a very delightful way. For a game that has been this satisfying throughout. It stuck the landing beautifully. Hey, Al. And I was considering at the time just leaving it happily there. But I ultimately decided over the weekend that no, we were not finished. Hi, with this game. I did also say that I did not plan to stream this game forever. So I've made the kind of middle of the. Would you let me finish? I've made the kind of middle of the roadish decision. Uh, I did finally go through and look up. Once I can find my little piece of paper with the thing on it. Let's see if I can get the camera to pick this up. I found. Oh yeah, that shows up pretty well. A flowchart of the paths. We got through more of them than I expected, to be honest. I was genuinely surprised. But there's few enough of the remainder that I'm curious about. But I was gonna see if just this week, if in the remainder of between tonight's stream and Thursday's stream, uh, essentially to see if we can at least get to the chapter 2s and chapter 3s, and there are even a couple chapter 4s that we missed. So again, not going to 100% the game exactly, but at least to see just as many versions of the princess and the cabin that are out there, which I think would be yeah, just a worthy enterprise. Hey, Badrod. And also with some a definite shout out to Badrod, who's given me a lot of help and advice now that we had gotten to at least one ending, and kind of kicked off the doors of the spoiler cabinet a little bit. Between that and going to some walkthroughs, I'm hoping that I've got a pretty good what do you call it, guide from here. So yeah, we're not going to be taking our time as much as we were up to this point. We're once we get to new stuff, I'll be slowing it down a little bit to just kind of savor and enjoy it. But for the stuff that we've been going through before, they'll be we'll be moving through it a bit quickly. The point is to get to some of the new scenes, I guess is the better way to put it. Hi, as opposed to enjoy the retreading of the where we've already been. However, before we get to any treading at all, it is still important because we are going to new stuff, and that new stuff is still going to be horror stuff. So we do still need to talk about content warnings. So content warnings for tonight's stream include flashing images. We've mostly seen that. A lot of that has been on the title screen itself, but I imagine there are probably some of these in the further on into the game. Graphic violence, that has been pretty constant. That has been in so many of the routes that we found. Blood, gore, body horror, death. Boy, we die a lot. Suicide, drowning, suffocation, immolation, torture, and gaslighting. We haven't seen drowning or immolation, so I would guess we'll probably see those tonight, given that we're specifically wrapping up routes that we haven't been down before. For more detailed warnings, head to doesthedogdie.com and look up Slay the Princess, or click on the link in our CW tag there, or head to blacktabbygames.com and look for their list of warnings on Slay the Princess. Either good, both pretty comprehensive resources for this game in particular, and both drill down to kind of the chapter level as for which content relates to which chapter, which is a nice and helpful thing. All right, I think that's actually all the preamble. Like I said, I'm planning to just do a couple more streams of this, and we'll get as far as we get, and we'll get as much new stuff as we get. And so yeah, it'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see how much new stuff we get. It was. Hang on, I'm gonna go back. It was extremely funny to me to boot up this game earlier today and discover that literally today, Black Tabby Games released a major content update for Slay the Princess. So we actually finished the game just in time last week before a major update with like 3,000 additional words specifically related to the ending got patched in today. Although I love that the devs have added in an ability to like flip to the legacy version. So if we wanted to preserve, if we wanted to see the original, we had the option to toggle that on. But I like that we finished essentially in the vanilla version of the game, and then they released a major patch today. So like if we hadn't finished it on Thursday and we were finishing it tonight, we would have gotten a completely different, well, not completely different, we would have gotten an expanded ending, which I think is funny. I don't think it doesn't like change the nature of the ending. It's just adding like additional heft, I guess, to some of the bits of the dialogue, which is cute and neat. It's all leading up to what they're calling the pristine edition, which I think is very cute, like the pristine blade. And I'm looking forward to that. Depending on the walkthrough you use, there's 2 chapters with the same title. You may not see both. Yes, yeah. I noticed that that's the gray. So we will. I want to leave both on there because I don't know which one we'll get. But yeah, it sounds like we'll get one or to other. Which is, I guess, whichever one we see first, odds are we won't get the other one. So I guess that's a good thing to note. Do we want back up here, miss? You are really just getting in all of your opinions right at the start, huh? Is this because I call you princess? We're not here to slay you. You're okay. We actually didn't even slay the princess all that often. And usually only under protest. Or one time as a bit, but mostly under protest. Princess was her first nickname, so. Still very appropriate, I think. She's purring now. There. Better? Okay. She is our Grail captain. You can carry it first. It's going to be one of the very early ones. No, that's the wrong... There we go. Okay, so... Bloop. Before we do that, if I'm very lucky, I think, weirdly enough, one of our last saves from where we started last time actually sets us up for a path. Before we actually jump to new game, where we ended up starting at the start of Thursday's stream, actually gets us, or it was actually a good jumping off point, assuming I'm reading this right. Right, there's auto. Is this auto the auto skip? Let me look up. We got some. There's also a setting. Go back up. I think that's what this is. All right. So last time we were here, we looked at the manacle. It magically grabbed our neck, and then we were stuck in here until the cabin literally eroded around us, which was neat. But we're not going down that path again. So instead, we're going to slay the princess and see what happens.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
Or we could fail to do that. Auto just advances the text when the person is done talking, unless you have a choice to make. That makes sense.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists.
I appreciate this.
In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us again. Just listen to her. Do what she says.
Consulting the flowchart. One moment. That's right, Jasmine. there are many options
How
at the
many
castle.
times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
Alright, we're gonna try it again.
You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
Valid.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. I don't like this. It was too easy.
I forgot we had the skeptic with us for this chapter.
It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now.
Aw, bud.
You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises? It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here.
Now that we've actually met the Echo, or the narrator, or whatever name we want them to go by, in the long quiet that is us, I'm just imagining a little crow on our shoulder that is just saying all this, and it makes it infinitely funnier. What?
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it. With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here. The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
Open the door and accept your reward.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows. But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward?
Aw, bud.
This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Like hell it is.
That's bullshit. Let us out of here.
What's done is done. And there's no going back now. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Let's just skip ahead to the end.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Yes.
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
Good point.
I don't have to answer that.
I love how much the skeptic gets under his skin.
That's all we needed to hear. You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
There we go, our first new chapter.
You're on a path
Ooh.
in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place. There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling.
Hey, buddy. It's been a while. Alright. Let's see. Don't really know what these mean. Skip unseen text? I would want to skip, like, seen text, right? I feel like this is... Is that skip to unseen text? Skip transition? Skip transitions kind of makes sense. Alright. I don't want to accidentally miss stuff, so we'll just click through it faster. We already saw the gray at the start of the stream. Talk about you.
That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay?
No.
I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor.
The skip button at the bottom only skips stuff you've seen, so that's safe to use. Okay, so that... Okay, so this is part of the update then. So that's this one. Got it.
So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived. Yes.
I think I said last time that I kind of wanted to get the cold and the skeptic in the same scene, and here we are.
Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy. We weren't. We were bored. You were bored. I was just unhappy. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything. How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us?
Great question.
The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead. Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out. We should go see her.
I love how much of the landscape we can see. Alright, so I can click on these. I can't click on this one. Alright. It's raining. It wasn't raining last time, or the time before that. The whole path is different.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Her influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be.
Actually, on that note.
And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Oh, come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know? No.
She was a pile of old bones if you threw her right away. Yeah.
Is there
And
a
then those
reason
bones got
it's
up.
raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Whatever happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the cabin. We might as well see this through.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright? What we do is entirely up to us. And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right? You aren't here to solve a mystery, you're here to save the world. That's what you say, but how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world. Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important. Is it? Yes. I think. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real.
Very good point.
Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else? Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
In we go.
As soon as you enter the cabin,
Hello?
you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive.
Great word, putrefaction. Also, hello?
But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her? It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time.
Mm-hmm.
Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room.
What door,
A
bud?
door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? It's gone because we've already killed her with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
Mirror time.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down.
Hmm?
Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things.
I've missed you, you weirdo.
No way left to go but down.
Down we go.
The door to the basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters.
I'm guessing this is the drowning chapter. Just, I have a hunch.
There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment.
Amazing.
Then she vanishes around the corner.
I'm sorry about last time. Are we good? Is anyone there? I think we have a lot to talk about. Is actually pretty solid. I don't have a weapon. There wasn't anything upstairs for me when I got... No, we don't say a damn thing. Down we go.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters. Her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy
Oof.
chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom.
I'm not sure I don't have a weapon helps if you followed up with there wasn't one available. Yeah.
See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of
There
a
it is.
slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
Well, there we go. Ah, why did you close the door? Let me out? Are you trying to kill me? What are you gonna do? Stab me? What's wrong with you? I don't want this. I only killed you after you killed me first. We're even now. We don't need to do this again. Please, I'm begging you. I'll do anything. Just don't let me drown. Is this about last time? I'm sorry. Now can you let me out? She specifically told us she wouldn't help us next time. And I fully believe that promise. And all of these are just essentially wasting time. That's right, Jasmine. Or making excuses, which I don't want to do. The door has never once opened for us once it's been closed and locked behind us, so we're gonna go for the blade.
The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps. The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out.
Okay, well, there's the first time for everything.
It's so dark and cold, I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this? Just keep breathing, we'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle.
There's the body.
You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness. I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix. And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think like we should have been doing all along. But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same your mind filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
And there she goes. But your lungs don't fill, nor will they ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
No!
And there's that mirror again.
There's the mirror. We'll just skip through all this bit. I want to at least talk to the Victorian ghost. Oh no, we get to the echo.
I think you know.
Yeah, alright. And we'll go here. And just take me back to the title. Oh, main menu, there it is, in the middle. Aha. Fantastic. So, apparently there are two versions of the Grey, and the other one is the one that carries in a fiery theme. But yeah, that's the one with the watery theme, and yeah, deeply Victorian. Very, very Edgar Allan Poe. All right, let me just put a little check mark for myself here. That was a lot. That one's here. All right, where's the other one? That's over here. Oh, I see how to get to that one. Wow, that's a route. Well, we'll see what we end up with time for. Probably won't do that one tonight, but we might be able to hit that one later. We'd have to restart another route from the start. Speaking of restarting from the start, new game.
You're on a path in the woods.
Alright. So, from the very start, we immediately turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
Yes. And say nothing and just keep going away.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Yes, correct. We found another cabin. Nope. 180.
Really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's
Yes. Quietly continue down the path.
Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again, in fact, I'm going to keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much
Nope. Ah! Okay. So now I think we're in the next chapter because the wall is up, which means we should have the Contrarian with us. That was how we ran into the infinite hills and infinite cabins, and then we kind of broke everything. Let's see. Now, do we have the option... Okay, we could say lie, heading to the cabin. We proceed to the cabin. Talk about the walls. Okay, so we can take the lie option. We don't have the option at the moment to turn around and leave. Be able to check. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off in the forest in search of certain death. Alright, so let's lie and say that we're heading to the cabin.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. A warning. Before you go in, if she will lie, if we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
Okay, so we've lost the ability to not go to the cabin. Once we get in,
The
can we
cabin
leave?
interior is
Ooh.
wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors.
This is new.
All projected across what's almost the same space.
Wait, we've done it.
It's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make
Oh,
any
that's
sense.
cool. Whee! Whee! Ha ha!
The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
This might be the only time I can remember when the pristine blade hasn't been hanging off the table in a very concerning manner.
You can't just say that. Not when everything here is so wrong.
Whee!
Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is
Having
to
way
slay
too
the
much fun with the
princess and
parallax.
through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh ho ho ho! You've piqued my interest. What's gonna
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
lose ourselves?
Yeah, the little gap into space over here is fantastic.
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm.
Just ignore the stressful geometry is a deeply Stanley Parable kind of line.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard.
Ooh, thank you, Bad Road. Boop. Boop.
Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
You know, I'm not going to say anything. I am going to approach this mirror just to see if something changes.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. But there was a mirror, and now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Amazing. Fuck that blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour.
Good, just slide that one in under the line. Great.
Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
Amazing.
No, thank you.
We finally did it. We finally won one toke over the line for the hero.
Oh, don't be such a baby.
Yes!
I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die.
I mean, that... Oh, I don't have the heart to tell him.
We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
Sold. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no. Good adventurers go left.
You step to the left. The path is cruel against your feet, the impact of each step sending pulsing vibrations up your legs, until there's nothing left in them to feel. The air around you grows cold the further you progress.
Dragon?
At
Dragon?
first a barely
Dragon?
noticeable drop, quickly evolving into a numbing cold. Your toes
Dragon?
feel like blocks of ice, your breaths puff out in clouds of condensed vapor. You shudder against it as you continue down the stairway, losing yourself in the bone-deep chill. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Oh.
Consumption and betrayal.
Ooh.
Skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you just going to stand there?
Incredible. Love this game. Love this game. It just keeps giving.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down.
When you're exactly the same, but you've undergone a process. Exactly.
You're here to... He's just being an ass. We remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
Yeah, other than the eyes glowing in the dark thing. Which is probably fine. Sorry, I didn't realize I was here. We could try the what's your name thing again. I think we'll still get the title. Getting down here was weird. Like I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me? For all I know, you're locked up down here for oh, that's the boring one. You're apparently a threat to the world. I was sent here to slay you. Tapa Lucidum is the least weird thing about her. I mean, given everything we know from all the other paths, yeah, I'm with you there. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was here.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching you stare at me for a long, long time.
Sorry. Sorry.
The shadows
Oh,
recede,
hey.
revealing the princess's face. I don't think she likes us. Wouldn't you be skeptical of someone stumbling in here if you were her? We lost ourselves the second we stepped into this place. I don't know how long she's been here, but I can't imagine it would be easy for her to trust anyone. Those eyes, though. They're so sharp. It's just deception. Don't buy into it. You can do this.
It's okay.
Yep.
Don't worry. Sometimes I get lost here too.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another.
Incredible.
We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? Again? Have you been here before? Should we tell him? Nah, let him stew. Yeah! Right, I'm telling him. Yeah, we've been here before, but we never went to the cabin. We just turned around and left until... It's hard to describe. Until the only thing we could see was the same cabin going on forever. And then you told us that the world ended and we died. And then we woke up, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with all the rest of it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them.
Unthink them.
If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
Okay. Before we take the contrarian up on that idea, let's pause here for a second, go to our ad break, because this chapter seems like it's going to be a lot, and I don't want to interrupt it with another ad break. So we'll do it now, before we go even further down the Kaleidoscope Princess run. And we'll be back here in just a few minutes. So, think the unthinkable, slay the unslayable. Do that, or if you don't have time, stand up, stretch, get a drink, do whatever you need to do to take care of you, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes. See y'all then. I was talking to my friend Rafe the other day about how one of the things that both of us really enjoy deeply about Final Fantasy VII is how it's a game that is simultaneously deeply silly and like deeply serious, and it takes both of those things to like equal extremes. I feel like Slay the Princess, it goes as hard in being ridiculous as it goes in being like just deeply genuine and serious. And I just love it when really any piece of media is able to do that. There's more of you now. I'm getting you out of here. Try and free her. I don't know what you are, but I can't trust you. I can't trust anything here. Leave her in the basement. Retrieve the blade. All of these are one. That's incredible. Okay, there's more of you now.
And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin? There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? We could always start by retrieving the blade. Can we even leave this place? I don't like thinking about what might happen to us if we have to go back through those stairs.
Through those stairs?
Well, that's where the blade is. If you want it, you'll have to go and get it.
Thank you, Bob. Silly twitch. There.
I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
Well, let's go for the baker's dozen. What's your name?
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really. You can call me Princess, if you'd like. Princess.
None of them have names. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
Okay, that one didn't do it. Getting down here was weird, like I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me?
What, like you need me to hold your hand and tell you everything's okay? You're not really cut out for this, are you? Why are you even here? We're probably
There we go.
down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you?
You're apparently a threat to the world. I was sent here to slay you.
And do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
There we go.
Everything you've heard about me is true, and I'm going to lay waste to everything, starting with you.
This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. You can do this. But how do we decide what to do? Can there even be a right choice when all of them are so different? Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her. Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
Well, we only have the option, I guess. I'm getting you out of here. I don't know what you are, but I can't trust you. I can't trust anything here. Retrieve the blade.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions.
Oh god.
hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
Amazing.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't...
Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now.
No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all.
Princess Singularity.
Falls apart?
I think he's gone.
We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and others, they just don't fit. They just don't fit.
Oh my god.
We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this.
How surprisingly sincere.
I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
Amazing.
It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
Whoa. It's gonna be okay. I'll do my best. I don't think you're supposed to be fixed. No. You just destroyed everything. I'm not going to fix you or say nothing. I'll do my best. But you don't know if she had the chance to hear your reply. She's gone, replaced with something else.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
I just
begging you,
skip it.
don't- This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
And in we go. And that was the first time we saw her face. It's you. I gotta meet this version.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
We never did try these, and I don't think I want to try them now. Just what an incredible path. Right, alright. Well, that was different, which is hard to do in this game, I feel like. I think we have time for one more, at least. Maybe two. Maybe one. No, not two.
You're on
Good time for
a
one.
path in the woods.
Not doing another full run? No, I think I'm gonna just try and get as many of these as we can. So we will continue.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
In we go.
You'll find the princess within. She will.
Yada,
We're not going to
yada,
ignore
yada.
him. He doesn't.
Go away. In we go. Alright, so this time we are going to not take the dagger. We're going to
The
immediately...
interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
We're going to not take the dagger. We're going to go down. We're going to try and free the princess, which is going to lead the narrator to essentially try and take us over. We've seen that part before. Last time, both times that the narrator took us over, we resisted. We tried to warn the princess, and then we chose the resist option. This time, we're not going to do that. We're instead going to essentially let the narrator when the narrator possesses us, we're going to choose one of the 17 Slay the Princess options. That gets us a different path.
The door to the basement creaks open.
There we go. I'm here to save you.
How many times do I have to tell you how...
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with...
See what I can do. Examine the
Only
chains.
making this more...
Yada yada yada. Let's see. Gotta check upstairs.
I'll be...
Turn to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the
Gore
stairs.
warning
This would have
for those
been
who weren't here the first time this happened.
if you'd...
Oh, good. That actually skips past it. Awesome. Love that.
Fine. Against your better judgment,
Okay, mostly skip past it. All right, we go together.
we won't have any of... As the princess
we go.
approaches... Wait. Watch me.
What are you doing?
He takes us over, and this time...
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces
Whoop.
on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive
familiar.
as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ha! Another new one.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Just gonna check and make sure we haven't got any new ones. Oh, this appears to be everyone's favorite chapter too. Ooh, okay. I guessed wrong. I had a guess. So the flowchart, which I know is kind of hard to read just on the what little you can see on the camera here, but the flowchart just has the chapter names and then like a little blurb on essentially how to get to them. So all I knew about this chapter was that it was called The Witch, and all I know about the other chapters is essentially what they're called. So like, I didn't know that the Grey was going to be a haunted Victorian ghost thing. That was cool as shit. But of the chapter 2s that we hadn't got, I knew there were 4 of them, and I was making a guess of like which of those was going to be the one that was, as better to put it, everyone's favorite. I had put money on a different one, which I don't think we'll get to tonight, but we'll get to that one Thursday. But it's this one. Interesting. But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of
Oh,
us...
buddy, if you only knew.
Very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him.
The opportunist, hi.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
I love that she also gets the capital H treatment. Yeah, proceed.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Sorry, read my notes.
Don't worry, you can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost
Sorry,
as
Bob.
if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Skip the mirror. We're gonna take the blade this
You
time.
take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I don't know. We've done okay for ourselves.
Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it.
I don't know if it ever matters if we touch the mirror. At least I haven't seen it in any of these things yet.
That's not actually a bad idea.
Skip the mirror this time. There goes.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Say the line, Bart.
Her voice skitters up from below.
Skitters? It skitters?
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Hello? Oh, hang on while I'm here. Anytime we get to a new one, I'm just going to drop a save. I'm not nasty. Well, we don't want to lie. That's just a bad matter, of course.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine. You're the boss.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below.
A creatura.
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
Which Cats production is this?
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses.
Look at this fucking face.
Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it.
Oh my god.
So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us.
Oh my god.
Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Yeah, but that's my favorite part.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Just gonna let that one go. Sorry about last time. I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? I'm sure you've made mistakes. I know I've said this in almost every chapter, but this game has some incredible openers. Don't worry, the blade isn't for you, or not for killing you. We've got to get you out somehow, right? Ooh, okay. This is very opportunistic. I like it. I get the sense that you're not happy with me. My deductive reasoning tells me. I died last time. You didn't. If anyone here shouldn't be trusted, it's you. Look, I know. Things got messy last time, but I think there's something bigger than both of us at work. We should team up. Still love that option. Can't you get out of those on your own? Those changes didn't stop you last time. Why do I have a nagging feeling you're going to stab me in the back if I help you out of here? Don't want to hurt you, but clearly there's some broken trust. Take this as a gesture of my goodwill. Give her the blade. I mean... Thank you, Bob. I don't trust you, not enough to free you, and definitely not enough to get close to you. I'm leaving, bye. I don't think we've ever tried the leave her in the basement option, and this is not the chapter I'm going to start that on. I like to be straightforward with my intentions. I didn't care for how you treated me last time, and I think you might be a danger to the world. I'm going to attack you now. Had me in the first half, not gonna lie. Let's get weird. I don't want to hurt you, but clearly there's some broken trust. Take this as a gesture of my goodwill. Give her the blade.
You can't be serious. Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no. As do I. I abstain? You abstain? She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
This isn't a democracy. We're giving her the blade.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count. Taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
That's up to you. It's why I gave you the blade. I chose last time and I regret it, so now it's your time to choose. Strong lead.
We're both scared and we're both hurting. If one of us doesn't make a change, we'll probably kill each other forever. Do you want that? I don't. We can be better than this. Okay, 2 strong leads. You're beautiful, I want to actually save you, and this feels like the only way to do it. I feel like the community picked this one a lot. If you're like someone I know, you're probably going to kill me, or just keep my mouth shut. No, it's going to be one of these first 2. This one is just completely abdicating it. I actually want to start with we're both scared and we're both hurting. Make some assumptions. Versus this one, which is just, that's why I gave you the blade. I chose last time and I regret it, so now it's your turn to choose. Versus this one, which is presumptive. We're both scared and we're both hurting. If one of us doesn't make a change, we'll probably kill each other forever. That said, we've played the game all the way through to the end, and we kind of know that this is true. But I don't know that it's going to read appropriately in this moment. Being right is only half of the game. No, it's about choice. Now it's your time to choose.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
Pretty sure You're Beautiful gets us. Oh, we'll get us the smitten again? Oh, thank God.
And then she buries the blade in your heart.
That's fair.
What? No. No, come on, that's not right.
That's fine.
I told you. I told you this is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Well, we'll see what happens in round 3.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time.
Now we have a pattern.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ooh, new chapter.
You're on a path in the woods.
She stabbed us. She actually stabbed us.
The cheated is back. Okay, honestly, that's a fair read. That you deserve to be here, bud.
Of course she stabbed us. We gave her the blade, which, I might add, I
voted against.
But the whole point was that she wasn't supposed to do that. The whole point of giving her the blade was to break the cycle of violence.
Cycle of violence.
She just killed us anyway.
Oh, I missed you, bud. Yeah, this is way better than getting the spitting again. I did not miss
It
the
really
spitting.
doesn't matter if she killed us, though, right? We're back here, which means that everything's fine, or fine adjacent.
Fine adjacent.
Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already
There he
proven
is.
to her that we can change. Maybe that's all it'll take to show her that there's another way to do things.
The last thing we said was, I killed you last time and I regret it. And right after she stabbed us, she seemed like she regretted it. So maybe this time.
You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try.
Think this is your favorite chapter 3? Nice! Which makes this your favorite route. There you go.
Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right?
Like that changes anything.
We all know the game is rigged.
It doesn't even matter if she's nice this time. I'm sure he'll find a way to turn us against each other.
Great, so you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Twice, sure.
Oh, twice, actually.
Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through.
Place is different, it keeps changing. We're going to free her. We're even now. I'm sure she understands that, but we can see what she has to say for herself when we get to the cabin.
Yes, good. Playing both sides. That's what smart people do, and you're the smartest in the room.
Oh my god, shut up.
I'm not sure it counts as playing both sides if people can hear you doing it. You're thinking in far too few dimensions. There's layers to doing this right, and I'm pretty sure the one making the choices gets that. Trust in the plan. Trust in what plan? The Decider's plan. Sure, we don't know what the plan is yet, but that's part of the whole trusting thing, isn't it? A good leader knows how and when to keep things secret, and sometimes a good leader even knows to keep things secret from himself.
This is like everybody's first rogue.
Sure, we'll see what she has to say for herself, but don't forget that whatever she says is likely just as much lies as what he's been telling us. We should keep our cards close to our chest.
If I were you, I'd remember what she's done. You know how dangerous she is, and you should know that someone like her shouldn't be let loose upon the world.
Screw the cabin. What happens if we just leave? We go back to the beginning. There we go. So to be making the whole looping thing in stride. All our answers at the cabin. Let's see this through.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point.
I don't know if I'd say everyone.
Oh, the thorns.
Are you talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one, too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. The princess is a threat to you. She's a threat to me, and most importantly, she's a threat to the world. You know what you have to do. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore.
Hello?
The burned-out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right.
I love it every time.
Pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
There was supposed to be a kaboom.
We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she?
Oh, bud.
Well, it's not here. And if she has it... Let me guess. You want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work.
Of course we don't get to make a choice about the blade. Every single time we come back here, something has to be different.
First mirror.
You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent.
Might as well take a look while we can. There's nothing else to do here now that the knife has been taken from us.
You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. What are you doing?
Figures. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it?
Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us. You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below.
It's the second time I didn't really catch it the first time, but scorched wood. It's not just that the walls are broken down and that they're overgrown. It's that it was like burned down specifically.
The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you.
Growth after a fire.
Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease. At least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved.
I'd say this feels like a trap, but you practically said as much. Yet you still want us to keep going.
They're only thorns. I'd say getting a few scratches in exchange for the lives of everyone in existence is a fair trade. I'm sure you'll manage. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
Well, I want to figure a way out of here for good. I don't know what I want. I never really chose to come here. I want to free you. I mean it. I just want to talk. Really talk.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, grown by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
the twist of surprise at the end. Pristine blade?
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
It's one of the only times that we have automatically approached. No hesitation, no stopping, no... Yeah. Yeah, I'm here to laugh. What did you think would happen after you killed me? Do you think I would hold it against... Did you think I wouldn't hold it against you? Obviously, we're not choosing that. I'm not here to laugh. I'm here to free you if you'll let me. I can cut you free, but you'll have to give me the blade. You're in a prison of your own making. I broke our cycle of violence. If you still want to wallow in it, be my guest. Turn and leave. Jesus. I guess I don't have anything left to say to you. Turn and leave. Fine, if you're going to be like that, I'm going to leave. Have a nice life. 3 turn and leave options. I'm not here to laugh. I'm here to free you if you'll let me.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you
Kinda.
help me if you weren't helping yourself?
You're not the only one who yearns for freedom. I'm as trapped as you are. I think we need to leave together.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
I love that there's even a little thorn tiara. Sorry, it's the little notes throughout. Like when she was the prisoner and she had like a chain link tiara. Anyway.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Is there nothing I can say to change your mind?
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own.
Careful with that one. He's not the smooth negotiator he thinks he is. It does feel like we're stuck until we do something. If there's even anything to do besides make things worse.
We're not making things worse. I think she wants to trust us.
Maybe it's past time for either of us to say anything. All that counts is action. Reach for the blade.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms.
I'll be damned. She really gave it to us.
It feels like it's been so long since we've held real power in our hands. I wonder what we should do with it. We free her, obviously. It's the right thing to do.
I think you're right. She's as much a victim in all of this as we've been. Besides, it would really stick it to him to free her. Or, hear me out, slay her right here here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. We've all said our piece. Now it's time to make our move.
Cheated. This is why I've stuck by you this whole time.
It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
Aw.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
I just wanted my Blaine back. You're on your own. No, we're not doing that. We're cutting her free.
Yes. What a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free. You can't just switch sides as soon as we make
What an
a decision.
asshole.
I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess. Even if he'll stick a knife in our back as soon as he has the opportunity, it's still better to have him nominally on our side. At least that gets him to shut up for a while. See? We're all friends here, united in our actions and intentions. Yeah, united. But the other one has a point. If it keeps you quiet, sure, we're all friends. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade. Is that really all you've got, threatening us with an accidental misstep? I expected more from you.
Yes!
Our blade didn't even waver when he said that. Yeah, you're right, he's a bit of a nobody, isn't he? Yes! I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
I just really hate the people who put us here. Of course I did.
She smiles, her hand slipping into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. You're getting desperate, aren't you? Even more proof that you can't actually do anything to stop us. We cut through those other vines just fine, they're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting, we can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
Let's cut the thorns.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this?
Oh, I'd get a list.
It feels so good to hear you say that you're admitting you've lost and we've bested you at your own game at last. I don't care what happens now. That's all I've wanted. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Step into your freedom. This feels like an ending all on its own.
Two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
Well, that was superb.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
Yada yada.
I'm begging you, don't.
Do the other voices have anything interesting to say? Let's see.
This doesn't. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
There we go. Ah, incredible. All right. Well, that was lovely. We don't really need to save here. We can just pop back to the thing. I'll just leave this here. Well, we are way over time, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Neat. We got several new chapters and at least a couple of new voices. So we're well on the way. We'll do some more of this Thursday, and if we don't wrap it up Thursday, I might do a bonus stream Saturday for any final bits that we still have, any hanging roots. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out and on this slightly longer than average stream. We'll go ahead and call it there. Be sure to check out our full schedule at schedule.truck.community. That has what our full stream team cannot talk anymore tonight. Has what our full stream team is up to, who's streaming what, on what days, at what times, with links to everybody's channels, so you can keep track of the whole fandamily and what everybody is up to. And if I remember correctly, over at twitch.tv/SquirrelLily here, probably several minutes ago, September and Soleil are doing more Super Mario Wonder, so we'll toss a raid their way here in just a moment. So hang out and chat, and you'll be forwarded along to cute and trippy Mario times here in just a bit. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you next time. Good night.